Before we hear from our speakers, I'm going to ask everyone to take out their phone and text TN to 472-472. You'll get a text back asking for your address. You can fill that out later after we hear from our speakers. But then you can call your representative and ask them to vote no on all the anti-LGBTQ bills currently coming through the Tennessee legislature. 472-472 TN. Text TN to 472-472. Awesome. And with that, I'm going to pass it to one of our Board of Governors and one of my friends, Dacre Rome.
Good afternoon. My name is Dacre Rome, and my pronouns are she, hers. I sit on the Board of Governors at the Human Rights Campaign. I've lived here in Nashville with my parents, sister, grandparents, and now my own family for 35 years in this vibrant city of culture, music, and hospitality. It's a place that I'm so proud to call home. However, it is also here on these very grounds that extremist legislators are continuing to attack the very existence of the same community that has fought so hard for acceptance and dignity. Since 2015, Tennessee has passed the most anti-LGBTQ plus bills into law than any other state, 12 to be exact, seizing on any opportunity to promote misinformation and spread hate. And now efforts to restrict drag performers that we're here to discuss today are no different. They're recycled attempts from years past to create false narratives surrounding LGBTQ plus people. The dangerous practice of banning LGBTQ plus events, spaces, and culture, including drag performances, is part of a large-scale attack on the LGBTQ plus community and an attempt to put LGBTQ plus people, particularly transgender and non-binary people, back in the closet and labeled as dangerous. No, they don't do it. No.
That's right.
Nearly 1 in 5 of any type of hate crime is now motivated by the anti-LGBTQ plus bias, with reports of violence growing by the day. Whether it be white nationalists targeting pride events, bomb threats at children's hospitals, or Proud Boys crashing drag queen story hours with Proud Boys crashing drag queen story hours at local libraries, we are at a crisis point. And now we must ask ourselves, what type of discrimination will the state of Tennessee not write into law? We have the answer, and that's they will not stop unless we act. These lawmakers know that there's a difference between drag performance at a bar and age-appropriate drag appearances at libraries and parades, where my children have learned so many virtues that are fundamental to growing up. From creativity to authenticity to self-validation, I have firsthand seen the empowerment my children have experienced from this form of entertainment that has existed for cultures. We're here today to tell politicians that attacking LGBTQ plus culture, events, and spaces under the guise of protecting our children does nothing to address the real issues facing our youth. Yeah! Woo! We live in Tennessee, the home of Dolly Parton, who by her own example reflects the compassion and acceptance that I know our state is capable of presenting on the national stage. With this being said, I have a clear message to our lawmakers. The soul of Tennessee is at a crossroads, and the rest of our country is watching. Do we carry on as the most anti-LGBTQ plus state in America, or do we find the courage to create a Tennessee that will learn from its history and finally welcome inclusion? Thank you. I'm going to turn it over now to our local drag performer, Brittany Banks.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I am Brittany Banks, and I am a local drag entertainer here in Nashville. I am so honored to be part of the Have a Heart rally here today on Valentine's Day. But before I begin, can we give it up for the gown? It took a lot to be here in this, actually. But yes, this all came from my imagination. What is imagination? The Oxford American Dictionary defines it as the faculty or action of forming new ideas or images or concepts of external objects not present to the senses. In drag queen terms, open up your mind and push yourself out of your comfort zone. Imagination helps boost social, emotional, creative, physical, linguistic, and cognitive development. Even our very own Dolly Parton knows how important using your imagination is, which is why she created the Imagination Library, to encourage creativity. She even went as far to say, "Good thing I was born a girl, otherwise I'd be a drag queen." I have always been a very creative person and love to play pretend. As a child, if I wasn't dancing around the house, I was playing with dolls, dressing up in my mom's clothes, or messing around with face paint, all without knowing anyone who was part of the LGBTQ plus community. It was just who I was and still am. Now, as an adult, I get to dance around and perform, create custom costumes, style wigs, and paint my face with as much makeup as I can put on it. Basically, I have become my own living doll with the help of my imagination. Drag allows us to bring out our inner child and be a kid again by utilizing imagination. Drag brings so much fulfillment to my life when I see the happiness and joy I bring to people of all ages. It allows people to escape the struggles of everyday life and use their imagination to transport them to a happier place. Drag is nothing to be scared of. It is pure theater and fun for everyone. I am an actor who has created their own character to share with the world. I want to encourage everyone to use their imagination and be whoever and whatever they want to be, while also learning how to accept others for their differences. I want to challenge each and every one of you here today to leave and use your imagination. Open your mind up to endless possibilities and spread love, not hate. Thank you so much. I would now like to introduce my great friend, Phil Cabucci, the founder of Inclusion Tennessee.
Thanks, Brittany. Give it up for that dress. Good afternoon. My name is Phil Cabucci, and I am the founder and executive director of Inclusion Tennessee. I am grateful to see all of your beautiful faces, those in drag and those without drag. It's beautiful to be here today. Just 8 short days ago, Governor Bill Lee stood behind me in this building and announced to Tennessee lawmakers that Tennessee was leading the nation. And he asked what future generations would say about Tennessee in 2023 and beyond. The answer is simple, Governor Lee. The people leading in the state legislature have simply lost touch with reality and have their priorities completely askew. Tennessee has the highest rates of instability in our foster care system in the country, and that isn't new. It's been that way since 2016. Tennessee also has an expanded Medicaid in this state, and we have over 300,000 Tennesseans in great need. Talk about moral hypocrisy. In Tennessee, the educational attainment rate is in shambles. Teachers are not allowed to teach history or discuss the bad parts of it. The avoidance of truth, of history, does not make us stronger. Not to mention the buffoonery in attacking the economic engine of our state in Nashville with bills that don't address real problems in our state. Governor Lee announced last week that the state is investing $100 million in anti-abortion centers. But still, we can't afford to offer pre-K to everyone in our state, nor can we pay teachers and state workers a fair wage. Yet, the very first bills that are filed in Tennessee this year are not bills that address foster care or education or healthcare. They were bills that attack our LGBTQ plus community, our vibrant, beautiful, diverse community that is filled with charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. Bills that rip life-saving healthcare away from young people throughout our state whose families have worked with multiple doctors and therapists to move through appropriate and well-researched and studied modalities of care. Bills that attempt to take away First Amendment rights away from entertainers and performers, calling their form of art and entertainment prurient in nature, when we know that this is furthest from the truth. Honey, the truth is, drag is a multi-hyphenate art form, and it has been around for centuries. These attempts by legislators force us back into the closet, and they're the absolute antithesis of the Constitution that they all swore to uphold. Make no mistake, friends, these are bills that are no slippery slope. What they pass in this session are just a stair step in a race to the bottom. You have often heard about the anti-LGBTQ sentiment in bills in states like Florida and Texas. But as Zachary just said earlier, the truth is that Tennessee has passed the most anti-LGBTQ bills nationwide since 2015. And this has to stop. Enough is enough. As we come together on Valentine's Day, I asked Governor Lee, Speaker Sexton, Leader Lamberth, Senator Johnson, and many other elected officials who say they are creating these bills out of love, and that they have researched what they are proposing with what I might add is nothing but data that has been refuted and disproven time and time again. What will future generations say about Tennessee when they look back on 2023? Governor Lee, you talk about your faith often. I implore you to look at your faith and the teachings of your faith. Are these bills part of the tenets of your faith? Are they compassionate? Do they love your neighbor? Do they help others? I assert here today that they do not. What would your Jesus do? It is not this. Governor Lee, stand up! Stand up to this hatred that is spewing from your legislature. Ask them to help Tennesseans instead of trying to ban, diminish, and repudiate us. Do something right. Today, friends, we are a guiding light in a moment of transformation for LGBTQ plus issues in our community. But we must fight with love. We must vote. We must show up. We must call. We must do everything that we can to stand up and say that this behavior from our elected officials is unacceptable and that there are real issues in our state that must be addressed. These are not partisan issues that divide. We have to be united. Friends, it is a time that we call for a new day and fight for the change that we so desperately need in our state with love. Our voices ring down through our ancestors of thousands of years. They give us strength to fight the battles ahead. We have wept in direct sunlight. We have lost monumental battles. But my dear friends, we are an army of lovers that will not fail. I got so into it. Please introduce Darren Johnson from